हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। आपका क्विज चल रहा है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
ओके।
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. So, should I share the quiz results?
हरे कृष्ण। Okay, let us see the result, Prabhuji.
Okay. So now devotees will get some. Yeah. So these are the results. Only 5 devotees so far have attempted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ankita Mataji, she is the
First.
because of the time also. There's a time.
Time.
Ankita Mataji, then Pinky Mataji, Arpita Mataji also 80%. Namrasita Mataji 80%. Then Satya Prabhu 40%. Then Shivani Mataji still playing.
Yeah. So this way, like we can share the link of the quiz like 7 minutes before, 7 to 8 minutes before the session, and then the devotees can log in, and then we can share the results 2 minutes before the session.
Okay.
So yeah. So this is the idea.
So yes, it's a good idea. So I hope you all liked it. और जिन्होंने नहीं play किया, please attempt the questions. They're very easy questions. Prabhu has made very easy questions. You just attempt and see how's the experience, because it will help us to revise. The idea is not to test you. Idea is just to get the revision like this.
Yes, true. So I think now we can start.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, welcome everyone to our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we'll begin our session now. Vanchakal Om Jnanate Mirandhasya Jnananjana Chalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय सो टुडे वी आर रीडिंग हमने पहले जो 3 मंगलाचरण के श्लोक थे वो हमने पढ़ लिए मंगलाचरण का पहला श्लोक था बट उसके अंदर हमने पढ़ा किस तरह से जो पहले 3 श्लोक हैं दे रेफर टू संबंध देन अभिदय देन प्रयोजन सो उन 3 श्लोकों के बाद अब जो भागवतम जो है अब नाउ वी सी भागवतम स्टार्टिंग नैमिषे अनिमिषे त्रे ऋष्या शौनकादया सत्रम स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्र समम आसता Naimishe, in the forest known as Naimisharanya, Animish Kshetre, Animish, Nimish means आंखें, Animish मतलब आंख बंद नहीं. The spot which is especially favored of Vishnu, who does not close his eyelids. Rishya means sages, Shaunuk Adi means Shaunuk or जो ऋषि थे. Satram means sacrifice. Svargaya means the Lord who is glorified in the heaven. Lokaya for the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord. Sahasra 1000 samam years asata performed. So Naimisharanya, once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages headed by sage Shaunuk assembled to perform a great 1000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. तो यह भागवतम शुरू हो रही है like this. Yes, Roji, can we go down? Purport. The prelude to Srimad Bhagavatam, the prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas. Now the main topic of this great literature is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Sukdev Goswami, was repeated for the second time in Naimisharanya. So Naimisharanya, if some of you may know, is a place in Uttar Pradesh. Rather, I was talking to some devotee and they went from Noida to Naimisharanya up down same day. So I was thinking अगर हम गुड़गांव से कर पाए, अब तो हाईवे अच्छी हो गई है, so we can go to Naimisharanya, read Bhagavatam like this. There's a Vishnu temple also there. So from Noida, they said it was around 4 hours on the bus. So we can try. It's called, एक तरह से बताते हैं कि पूरी यूनिवर्स का जो केंद्र है, this is the place, Naimisharanya. In the Vayav Tantra, it is said the Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to forest Naimisharanya in the Varaha Puran, where it is stated that the performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demonic people is curtailed. Thus, the Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial performances. और इसका एक और पुराण में भी आता है कि किस तरह से जब वो वृतासुर को मारने के लिए जब वो उनको बताया कि कैसे आपको दधीची मुनि की जो हड्डियां हैं उनसे वज्र बनाना पड़ेगा, तो it is said that that time when Indra went, so Dadichi Muni, he agreed to this request, but he said कि मैंने सारे तीर्थों का सब जगह मैं गया नहीं था, तो ये मेरी इच्छा थी, तो पहले मैं सारे जो तीर्थ नहीं, जितने भी होली रिवर्स हैं, तो पवित्र नदियां हैं, उनमें स्नान करके आना चाहता था. So then it is said that Indra brought all the holy rivers in the pond there, and Dadichi Muni took the snan, and then he gave up his life so that his bones could be used to make the vraj to kill Vritasur. So it's a very holy place. इसके बहुत जगह इसके रेफरेंस आते हैं. The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of the material existence. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of the Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. Third chapter में आता है Bhagavad Gita में. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. Okay. Anybody wants to read? Can raise the hand. जब तक मैं पूछता हूँ तब तक बहुत टाइम निकल जाता है. So let's read. Okay. So first was raised. Nidhi Mataji. Yes, Nidhi Mataji. Then Radhika Mataji. Okay. Nidhi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general. And as such, the sages headed by Shaunaka and others assembled at this holy place of Naimisharanya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all people. Lord
So ये
Vishnu
हमें
is
1 second. तो ये हमेशा हमेशा जानना चाहिए कि our best friends are devotees. We must know. So our most well-wisher for us are devotees only. They'll not be friends, they'll not be family. We may say, but we'll find our spiritual welfare is in the hand of devotees only. And that is also the symptom of a Vaishnava, that he cares for others. That on his inconvenience or her inconvenience, if that gives pleasure to the devotee, that Vaishnava will do it, because it's par dukha dukhi, like this. So we must have this a firm faith in this, that my best friends or my best well-wishers are Vaishnavas only. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, men, siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, and leaves of that tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, when Ronnie Prabhu, can you just move it upwards? Similarly, human society, when it is detached from the personality of Godhead, like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. The modern materialistic society is detached from its relation to the Supreme Lord, and all its plans are being made by atheistic leaders are sure to be baffled at every step. Yet they do not wake up to this. In this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is the prescribed method for waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teaching in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the text.
थैंक यू माता जी। तो जैसे हमने पढ़ा कि जो पेड़ के जो पत्ते या टहनियाँ जो अलग हो जाते हैं, सो दे हैव नो वैल्यू। इसी तरह से जो लोग भगवान की सेवा से, भगवान के संबंध से अलग हो जाते हैं, सो इट हैज नो वैल्यू। whatever what you do, so that peace and prosperity will never come. और हम देखते हैं कि जो डिवोटीज ड्यू टू देयर प्रीवियस कर्मा और whatever, they struggle, health issues, financial issues, family issues, drastic issues, but because they have the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, their Guru Maharaj, Acharya, Prabhupada, Krishna, they are able to pass through great difficulties like this. So you must understand that, and what we are speaking, the more our sambandh is more with Krishna, with our Guru Varg, the more we will have a calmer and peaceful life. And the difficulties, whatever passed due to previous karma, that prarabdha karma which is manifest, we will go through that in a much better way than a karmi or a normal person can do. Even at a neophyte level, we have this experience. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Next shloka. Yes, Radhika Mataji, go ahead. You can read the shloka and the translation for Padma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this shloka is Sanskrit, will be difficult for me to read.
Okay,
If you
I'll
can
read.
this much.
Okay. Ekda tu munya praturhuta huta ganya satkritam sutamashina prapuchur idam ahdarat. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Read the synonyms and the translation.
Sure. Te, the sages, Ekada, one day, Tu, but, Munaya, sages, Prata, morning, Huta, burning, Huta Agnya, the sacrificial fire, Satkritam, due respects, Sutam, Sri Sud Goswami, Ashinam, seated on, Paprachuha, made inquiries, Idam, on this as follows, Adrat, with due regards. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sud Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. The great sages offered the speaker of the Bhagavatam an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasana, or the seat of Sri Vyasa.
One second. So tell me, why to hold spiritual services? Who will share? Morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. So I'm saying, why morning is the best time?
Because we are in the mode of goodness in the morning.
Yes. That is thank you, Mataji. So this is the main reason. Because morning time, early morning time, we are in the mode of goodness. Sun has not come up. So that action has not started. So whatever we want to do good in life, if we do early morning, so that has great benefit. Thank you, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
The great sages offered the speaker of the Bhagavatam an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasasan, or the seat of Srila Vyasadev. Sri Vyasadev is the original spiritual preceptor of all men. All the other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Srila Vyasadev. Sri Vyasadev impregnated the message of Bhagavatam unto Srila Sukdev Goswami, and Sri Sud Goswami heard it from him. From Sri Sukdev Goswami. All bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadev in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all the senses and they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. The Goswamis do not deliver lectures on the Bhagavatam capriciously. Rather, they execute their services most carefully, following their predecessors who delivered the spiritual message unbroken to them. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning. But this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. This is also the way recommended in Bhagavad Gita. One must learn the transcendental subject by submissive oral reception from the right sources. Therefore, these sages address the speaker Sud Goswami with great respect.
तो ये जो श्लोक हैं 5th से 8th, so ये they give us the what should I say, qualities of a representative of Vyasdev. 5th to 8th shloka we will hear the qualities, और इसमें जैसे हमने पढ़ा इतनी सारी qualities, और एक qualities हमने पढ़ी कि किस तरह से one should not hear in a challenging mood. In the challenging mood, in the sense also, कई बार we try to hear speakers, okay, I know this verse very well, I know this purport very well, let me see what this speaker has to share new. If we hear a lecture in this mood, so then our effect of Bhagavatam on our consciousness will be very less like this. One must hear Bhagavatam. Whenever we are hearing Bhagavatam, one must understand that I don't know anything, and it is because of mercifully I have this opportunity to be able to hear Bhagavatam like this. Okay, so thank you, Mataji. Now next shloka, who's read? Okay, I'll just read the shloka. Rishya uchu tvaya khalu puranani seti hasani chanaga akhyatani api adhitani dharma shastrani yani uta. Okay, who's next? Shivani Mataji, go ahead.
The great sages
No,
respect.
read the word to word also, Mataji.
Translation. Okay. Rasya, the sage, Uchuhu, said, Tvaya, by you, Kholu, Kalu, undoubtedly, Puranani, the supplements to the Veda with illustrative narrations, Sa Itihasani, along with the history, Cha and Anagha, freed from all vices, Akhyatani, explained, Api, although, Adhitani, well read, Dharam Shastrani, scriptures giving right direction to the progressive life. Yani, all these, Uta, said. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The sages said, respected Sut Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and the histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. Purport. The Goswami or the bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadev must be free from all kind of vices. The four major vices of Kali Yuga are illicit connection with the women, animal slaughter, intoxication, speculative gambling of all sort. A Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on Vyasasan. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasan who is not spotless in character and who is not free from the above mentioned vices. He not only should be free from all such vices, but must also be well versed in all the revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. The Puranas are also part of Vedas, and the histories like Mahabharata and Ramayana are also part of Vedas. The Acharya or Goswami must be well acquainted with all these literature. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can assimilate the knowledge of revealed scriptures only by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravanam and explaining is called Kirtanam. The two processes of Shravanam and Kirtanam are of primary importance to the progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject.
So देखिए, this purport is actually full of gems. So because we are reading, we are not explaining anything, but you can see how full and the potent these purports are. और एक हम सोच सकते हैं, बताइए कि यहाँ जैसे लिखा है कि no one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasan who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above mentioned vices. और और उसमें लिखा है, he should not only be free from the vices, but also be well versed in all the revealed scriptures or in Vedas, and also in Mahabharata and Ramayana. So then, how sometimes we get the surveys, we sit, how do we understand this, that whosoever is sitting is free from all vices, is a complete understanding. अभी तो और पढ़ेगा अगले 2 श्लोकों में. So we should understand that we are like a trainee, we get service, so we must understand that we are just being trained, and we are explaining what a pure devotee has already explained in Bhagavad Gita. We are just trying to expand, and we are like a trainee, like this. So we have to gradually come to that level. So it is not our level to sit on Vyasasana and Bhagavatam ki charcha karna kisi, but so rather you see in our Bhakti Vriksha classes also, we try to tell people that sit down, sit with everybody, so that we don't take, just because we have more knowledge, we don't take a higher stance. We should sit in a group, so we are all together like this. और इतना अच्छा लिखा है यहाँ पर कि हरे कृष्णा, एक ओके, यहाँ देख रहे हैं जैसे हम कि to hear and explain them is more important than reading them. Very nice point. To hear and explain is more important than reading them. What do we understand from this point? To hear or explain scripture is more important than reading them.
Preach.
Because mananam is important.
Okay. Or
Is to preach.
Because these are revealed scriptures, तो सिर्फ पढ़ के कुछ होगा नहीं.
Okay. Or anybody else?
Prabhu, just reading does not mean just reading, but to study properly and then hear and then preach.
Okay. Much closer. Yes, much closer. Or anybody else want to try? This is much closer answer.
Prabhuji, we can share what we learn.
Okay. Right direction, but more closer. Or
We also have to follow the instructions given in the scriptures.
okay.
And
So,
as we share, Prabhuji, so our understanding also gets better.
so this is one of the point. Because to read is very easy. Like if somebody should say कि आपने 4 श्लोक पढ़ लिए, हाँ पढ़ लिए, ठीक से पढ़े. Now you explain to somebody. Now then we understand कि हमने कोई क्लास सुनी भागवतम की 1 घंटे की, और कैसी लगी, सब समझ में आ गया, no questions. Now you explain to somebody. Then we find कि वो 1 घंटे की क्लास को हम 5-10 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं एक्सप्लेन कर पाते. We are loss of words. So if when we preach, when we have to give this class, so that is more important than reading won't help us so much. But if we give, we explain, and इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि हमने क्लास देनी है. It just means if we explain to our husband, wife, brother, sister, daughter, parents, anybody, we explain. So that will give a more better understanding. Just reading won't take us much like that. So absorption will happen if we tell it to somebody like this. So इसीलिए लिखा है कि कहाँ गया कि to hear and explain them is more important than reading them. And one can assimilate the knowledge of the real scriptures only by hearing and explaining. देखिए, you cannot understand by reading, by hearing and explaining. So किससे सुन रहे हैं वो बहुत जरूरी है. और हमारा जैसे आप जैसे बोला कि रॉनी प्रभु ने कि preach करना, yes. So that is important because then our understanding gets better and better. And from whom we hear is very important. That's why we request everybody, hear Prabhupada lectures, hear Prabhupada lectures, hear Prabhupada lectures. और प्रभुपाद बता रहे हैं कि hearing is called Shravan, Shravanam is hearing, and explaining is called Kirtanam, like this. तो अगर ठीक से श्रवण किया होगा तभी ठीक से कीर्तन हो सकता है. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Let's go next one. Yes. So we'll just read the verse. Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto Bhagavan Badarayana Anyacha Munaya Suta Pravar Vido. Okay. Yes, Meenakshi Radha Mataji, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yani, all that. Veda Vidam, scholar scholars of the Vedas, Shreshtaha, senior most, Bhagavan, incarnation of Godhead, Bhadrayanaha, Vyasadeva, Anye, others, Cha, and Muneyaha, the sages, Sutaha, O Sutta Goswami, Paravaraha Vidhe, the uh, amongst the learned scholar, one who is conversant with the physical and metaphysical knowledge, Viduhu, one who knows. Translation by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Being the elders learned Vedantists, O Sutta Goswami, who are acquainted with the knowledge of a Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead. And you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kind of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation on a Brahma Sutta or a Brahmayani Vedanta Sutra. It is called a natural because Vyasadeva is the author of both Vedanta Sutra and Srimad Bhagavatam, or the essence of all Vedic literature. Besides this Vyasadeva, there are the other sages who are authors of 6 different philosophical systems, namely Gautam, Kanandaha, Kapilaha, Patanjalihi, Jamanihi, Ashtavakraha. Themes is explained completely in Vedanta Sutra, whereas other systems of philosophical speculation, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. One can sit on the Vyasasana only after being conversant in all system of philosophy, so that one can present fully the theistic view of a Bhagavatam in a defiance of other system. Srila Sutta Goswami was a proper teacher, and therefore the sages at Naimisharanya elevates him to the Vyasasana. Srila Vyasadeva is called up Prabhuji. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as the personality of Godhead because he is the authorized, empowered incarnation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can read, Mataji. This is the last verse. जिसमें से 5th to 8th verses हैं, they give the qualification of a representative of Vyasadeva. So आप घर में या बाद में इसको पढ़ के अंडरलाइन कर सकते हैं कि what is the qualification of a representative of Vyasadeva. Yes, Mataji.
आप श्लोक पढ़ सकते हैं.
Okay. वेथत्वं सौम्या तत्सर्वं तत्त्वतस्तद् अनुग्रहात् भूर्या स्निग्धस्य शिष्यस्य गुरुवो गुह्यम् अपि उत.
Vetaha, you are well conversant. Tvam, your honor. Saumyaha, one who is pure and simple. Tat, those. Shravanam, Sarvam, all. Tatvataha, in fact. Tat, there. Anugrataha, by the favor of. Bruyaha, will tell. Snigdasyaha, of all one who is submissive. Shishyaha, of the disciple. Guruvaha, the spiritual master. Guyam, the secret. Api utaha, endorsed with. All because you are submissive, your spiritual master had endowed with all the favor bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. Purport. The secret of success in a spiritual life is in the satisfying spiritual master and thereby getting his sincere blessing. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his famous 8th stanza on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead, and when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of a spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Sutta Goswami was bona fide, therefore they were anxious to hear from him.
थैंक यू माता जी. सो जैसे हमने पढ़ा कि इसके अंदर लिखा हुआ था कि ए डिसाइपल मस्ट फॉलो, और कि दैट ही मस्ट बी very obedient and submissive. So this is a qualification of if one wants to become a guru. So the qualification to become a guru is to first, learn how to become a good disciple. You will find in a society, in our society, and generally also, those who become guru are those who have been very good disciples. So if you learn how to follow the authority, then you'll find that to become authority becomes naturally. And this is the qualification. You want to become authority, then learn how to follow authority. To become good disciple means then to follow with great faith on the seniors, and then you will find it is a qualification to yourself become senior. This is the qualification. So ये जो श्लोक हैं 5 से 8, इनको हम घर पे पढ़ सकते हैं दोबारा से, और जैसे मैंने बोला कि हम सुन सकते हैं कि किस तरह से एक अच्छे व्यासदेव के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बनने की क्या योग्यताएं हैं. तो हम so we can get enlightenment and also some self-introspection also. What it takes to become a representative of Srila Vyasadeva. So time is up. So thank you so very much. We'll end the session now. If anybody has any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll end. Yes, Ankita Mata.
Can I recite Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2?
Why not? 1.1.2. Yes.
Dharma projita keitavotra pramoniramatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapa trayonamulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vaparer Ishvara Sadhya Hirdya Avarudyate Tra Kritibi Shushroshabis Tad Tinath.
Lakshana. Wonderful. Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you, Vedansh. Okay. So, yes, any questions we can take? And those who want to leave can leave because already our half an hour is there. So, no problem. Yes, Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I had a question in yesterday's verse. So when we were discussing about the 12 rasas, there you mentioned that we should try to enjoy these rasas with Krishna. But I'll talk about myself, that at the level we are, how can we actually enjoy these rasas without being artificial about it, like really enjoy? So what would be the process?
Yes, Mataji. So for us, this is a good question. So for us, the process is the Dasya Bhav. So our whole rasa starts from the platform of Dasya. So, it's a very wonderful rasa, because this is the Dasya Bhav is the foundation for all the, whether it is the Sakhya Bhav or the Vatsalya Bhav or the Madhurya Bhav, उन सबका जो base है वो Dasya Bhav है. So we can inculcate this feeling within us ki how Krishna is the master and my life revolves around my master. So it becomes a very fulfilling practice to practice like this. If we live our whole day what I am doing for master, or everything I am doing for my master, so you'll find that our growth in Krishna consciousness will be very fast, Mataji. So this is the rasa. Rest of the rasas are entry by invitation. So that Krishna will invite. We can't, like you said, artificially can't do. So those are by invitation only. That Krishna, he will invite, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you so much, friends.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so very much. So we'll end the session now. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Granthar Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.